In the labyrinthine world of occult literature, where countless grimoires promise swift access to supernatural powers through elaborate rituals and arcane formulas, one text stands monumentally apart from all others. The Book of Abramelin, formerly known as the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage, represents not merely another collection of magical procedures, but rather a complete system of spiritual transformation that demands nothing less than the total reconstruction of the practitioner's existence. This extraordinary work, which has captivated, terrified, and inspired magical practitioners for over 5 centuries, presents what may be the most comprehensive and demanding approach to ceremonial magic ever documented in the Western esoteric tradition. The origins of this remarkable text stretch back through the mists of the 15th century to a figure who remains as enigmatic as the system he purportedly received. Abraham von Worms, also known as Abraham the Jew, presents himself in the manuscript not as a distant, anonymous author typical of medieval grimoires, but as a real person with a compelling personal narrative. According to his detailed autobiographical account, Abraham was born into a Jewish family in Worms, Germany, during a period when European Jewry faced increasing persecution and marginalization. Driven by an insatiable thirst for spiritual knowledge and divine truth, he embarked upon what can only be described as an epic journey across the known world, seeking authentic wisdom from the great masters and sages of his time. Abraham's quest took him through the intellectual centers of medieval Europe, where he studied with rabbis, Christian theologians, and Islamic scholars, absorbing the diverse mystical traditions that flourished in the multicultural environment of late medieval scholarship. However, it was his journey to the Middle East that would prove transformative. In the ancient land of Egypt, cradle of mystery traditions and esoteric wisdom, Abraham encountered a figure who would change the entire trajectory of his spiritual development. This mysterious sage, known only as Abramelin, recognized in the young German seeker a rare combination of sincere devotion, intellectual capability, and moral integrity that marked him as worthy of receiving the most sacred and powerful magical knowledge. The transmission of this knowledge was not accomplished through the mere reading of texts or the casual imparting of formulas. Instead, Abramelin subjected Abraham to a rigorous period of testing, purification, and gradual initiation that would prepare him for the awesome responsibility of possessing such potent spiritual technology. The sage understood, as all true masters do, that magical power without corresponding wisdom and moral development inevitably leads to destruction, both for the practitioner and for those around them. Only after Abraham had demonstrated his readiness through sustained spiritual discipline and ethical conduct did Abramelin reveal the complete system that would later bear his name. What makes the Book of Abramelin truly unique among magical texts is not merely its historical pedigree or autobiographical style, but the revolutionary nature of its central premise. While most grimoires of the medieval and Renaissance periods focused on specific techniques for achieving particular goals, wealth, love, protection, or revenge, the Abramelin system presents something far more ambitious and spiritually sophisticated. The ultimate objective of the entire operation is nothing less than the establishment of direct, conscious communication with one's holy guardian angel, the divine aspect of the practitioner's own being that serves as their connection to the infinite wisdom and power of the Creator. This concept of the holy guardian angel, while having roots in various mystical traditions, receives its most complete development in the Abramelin system. The angel is understood not as an external entity that must be petitioned or bargained with, but as the practitioner's own higher self, their divine spark that has remained connected to the source of all existence even while the personality has become enmeshed in the illusions and limitations of material existence. The goal of the operation is to tear away the veils of ignorance, fear, and spiritual sloth that prevent direct communion with this divine aspect of one's being. However, the path to this sublime achievement is anything but simple or easy. The traditional Abramelin operation spans a period of either 6 months or 18 months, depending upon the practitioner's circumstances and spiritual development. This extended time frame is not arbitrary. It reflects a deep understanding, of the psychological and spiritual processes required for genuine transformation. Superficial changes in consciousness can be achieved relatively quickly through various techniques, but the kind of profound restructuring of the personality and purification of the soul required for angelic communication demands sustained effort over an extended period. The preparatory phase of the operation establishes the foundation upon which the entire work rests. The aspirant must withdraw completely from ordinary social and professional life, entering into a state of voluntary spiritual retreat that bears striking similarities to the monastic traditions found in various world religions. This withdrawal serves multiple crucial purposes beyond mere isolation from distraction. First, it breaks the practitioner's attachment to the external sources of identity and validation that normally define their sense of self. Second, it creates the space and silence necessary for subtle spiritual perceptions to emerge and develop. Third, it demonstrates to the unconscious mind the absolute seriousness of the practitioner's commitment to the work. During this period of retreat, every aspect of the practitioner's daily life becomes regulated according to spiritual principles rather than personal preferences or social expectations. The aspirant must rise at specific hours, typically before dawn, to begin the day with prayers and meditation. These prayers are not casual requests or vague expressions of devotion, but precisely formulated invocations designed to align the practitioner's consciousness with divine will and purpose. The regularity and consistency of this practice gradually establishes new patterns of thought and feeling that support the goal of angelic communication. This hypothetical epoch, often referred to as the purple dawn of creation, is described as a time of extraordinary tranquility and wonder, when Earth basked in the gentle, diffuse purplish light emanating from Saturn's stellar form. Unlike our current brilliant blue sky, the heavens during this period would have displayed a deep, mystical purple hue, with Saturn's massive form dominating the celestial dome as a constant, reassuring presence. According to this intriguing hypothesis, Saturn functioned as a brown dwarf star, emitting a soft ethereal light that created environmental conditions vastly different from those we experience today. The absence of harsh solar radiation would have produced a more stable, temperate climate across the planet, potentially explaining some of the paradisiacal descriptions found in ancient mythologies and religious texts describing a lost golden age. This cosmic arrangement allegedly came to a cataclysmic end when gravitational forces pulled Saturn from its central position into the outer reaches of our current solar system, demoting it from stellar status to that of a planet. This momentous celestial reshuffling is theorized to have triggered massive geological upheavals on Earth, including devastating floods, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other natural disasters that found their way into the flood myths and apocalyptic legends preserved by ancient cultures worldwide. The displacement of Saturn from its position as the central luminary marked not merely an astronomical transition, but the end of an entire cosmic era, the conclusion of humanity's primordial paradise and the beginning of our current age, dominated by the intense solar energy we know today. While mainstream science remains skeptical of this theory, it has found fertile ground within esoteric traditions and alternative historical frameworks, where Saturn's worship as the dark sun or black sun is interpreted as humanity's collective memory of this lost stellar epoch. Perhaps the most scientifically intriguing and mystically significant feature associated with Saturn is the massive hexagonal storm system that dominates the planet's north pole. This extraordinary atmospheric phenomenon was first discovered by NASA's Voyager spacecraft during the 1980s, and later studied in unprecedented detail by the Cassini mission. The hexagon spans approximately 20,000 miles in width, with each of its 6 sides roughly equivalent to Earth's entire diameter, a scale that defies easy comprehension. The remarkable persistence and perfect geometric symmetry of this structure have simultaneously puzzled scientists and ignited the imaginations of mystics, occultists, and researchers of ancient wisdom traditions. From a purely scientific perspective, atmospheric physicists believe the hexagon results from Saturn's unique atmospheric dynamics, where the planet's rapid rotation combines with complex weather patterns to create a standing wave formation in the upper atmosphere, naturally organizing into this hexagonal configuration. However, the hexagon's mathematical perfection and its continuous presence for decades, if not centuries, have led many researchers to propose that this phenomenon represents something far more significant than conventional meteorology can explain. In the realm of sacred geometry, the ancient study of divine proportions and cosmic patterns, the hexagon occupies a position of profound importance, symbolizing harmony, balance, and the fundamental underlying order that governs universal existence. The hexagon appears throughout nature in countless manifestations, from the intricate architecture of honeycomb structures created by bees to the crystalline formations found in minerals and snowflakes. This ubiquitous geometric pattern is intimately associated with the number 6, which represents creation, structure, divine order, and the perfect balance between spiritual and material realms. The hexagon also connects to the Star of David, a powerful symbol holding deep religious and cultural significance in Judaism, representing divine protection, unity, and the harmonious integration of opposing forces. The appearance of this perfect hexagon on Saturn has prompted some researchers to speculate that it represents a manifestation of the planet's deeper connection to cosmic laws and sacred geometric principles. Rather than viewing it as merely an atmospheric curiosity, esoteric traditions interpret Saturn's hexagon as a cosmic signature, a glimpse into the mysterious mathematical forces that govern universal existence and a symbol of the hidden order underlying apparent chaos. For those who delve into mystical and esoteric studies, Saturn's hexagon transcends its identity as a weather pattern, becoming instead a powerful symbol, a celestial marker of Saturn's role as the cosmic timekeeper and guardian of dimensional boundaries. Some theorists propose that the hexagon functions as a kind of interdimensional gateway, a geometric portal through which cosmic energies flow between different planes of existence. The influence of Saturn and its associated symbolism extends far beyond ancient mythological narratives, having permeated virtually every major religious and cultural tradition in ways that are often subtle yet profoundly significant. Over millennia, Saturn's symbols have been woven into the fabric of human spiritual practice, frequently hidden in plain sight within rituals, architectural designs, and sacred objects that billions of people interact with regularly. One of the most pervasive and symbolically rich emblems associated with Saturn is the black cube, a geometric form that has appeared in religious and esoteric contexts throughout recorded history, carrying deep metaphysical significance across diverse traditions. In Judaism, practitioners wear tefillin during prayer, small black leather boxes containing sacred Torah verses that are bound to the head and arm. These cube-shaped objects serve as physical manifestations of the spiritual connection between the individual and the divine, symbolizing the binding of human consciousness to divine commandments and representing the unity and completeness of divine law. In Islam, the most sacred site in the entire faith is the Kaaba in Mecca, a large, imposing black cube structure around which millions of Muslims perform the tawaf, or ritual circumambulation, during the Hajj pilgrimage. The Kaaba serves as the focal point for Muslim prayer worldwide and is revered as the house of God on earth. The ritual act of circumambulation, where pilgrims walk around the Kaaba 7 times in a counterclockwise direction, has been interpreted by some scholars as reflecting the orbital patterns of celestial bodies, particularly Saturn with its prominent ring system. This association between Saturn and the black cube, combined with the significance of the number 7, found in Saturn's 7 classical rings and the 7 required circumambulations, suggests a profound symbolic connection between the physical architecture of the Kaaba and the esoteric astronomical significance of Saturn. The black cube in this mystical context represents the material world, the physical realm governed by time, space, and natural laws, domains traditionally understood to be under Saturn's dominion. In Christianity, the connection to Saturn appears in the very structure of the weekly calendar, where Saturday derives its name from Saturn's day. This day has traditionally been associated with rest, reflection, contemplation, and the acknowledgement of time's passage. The Christian concept of the Sabbath, whether observed on Saturday or Sunday, carries forward Saturn's association with temporal cycles and spiritual renewal. The figure of Father Time, prevalent in Western cultural imagery, draws directly from Saturn's iconography, typically depicted bearing a scythe, representing harvest and death, and an hourglass, symbolizing time's inexorable flow. This imagery reinforces Saturn's role as the cosmic harvester and temporal guardian, reminding humanity of mortality's inevitable approach. The black cube has also appeared in more controversial historical contexts, such as in the worship of ancient Canaanite deities like Baal and Moloch, both associated with Saturn in various traditions. In these ancient practices, the black cube symbolized material existence's constraints, the limitations imposed by physical reality, and the inevitable decay that accompanies temporal existence. It served as a stark reminder of physical realm boundaries and the spiritual necessity of transcending these limitations to achieve true liberation. Saturn's association with death, decay, and temporal limitation extends beyond mere symbolic representation into some of history's most disturbing and controversial religious practices. Throughout various civilizations, Saturn worship has been inextricably linked to rituals of sacrifice, particularly human sacrifice, performed as desperate attempts to appease the deity and ensure the continuation of cosmic order and societal stability. These practices, though universally condemned by modern ethical standards, were considered essential by ancient civilizations for maintaining universal balance and preventing cosmic chaos. In ancient Carthage, the worship of Baal, a deity explicitly identified with Saturn in many traditions, involved the horrific sacrifice of infants and children to ensure the city's prosperity and divine protection. These innocent victims were offered in gruesome ceremonies known as Moloch sacrifices, where children were burned alive within large, hollow bronze statues of the god, their cries supposedly pleasing the deity and securing divine favor. The underlying belief system held that these extreme sacrifices would guarantee abundant harvests, ensure fertility among both humans and livestock, and provide protection from military enemies and natural disasters. This dark aspect of Saturn worship starkly illustrates the deity's dual nature as simultaneously a bringer of life's abundance and a harbinger of death's inevitability. The theme of sacrificial consumption appears prominently in the myth of Kronos, who devoured his own children immediately after birth to prevent them from fulfilling prophecies of his overthrow. This act of paternal cannibalism serves as a powerful metaphor for time's relentless march, which inevitably consumes everything in its path: youth, beauty, civilizations, and ultimately life itself. The myth also functions as a cautionary tale about the corrupting nature of absolute power and the futile consequences of attempting to cheat fate or halt time's natural progression. Saturn's symbolic role as a controller and limiter extends far beyond these ancient ritualistic practices into contemporary times. In various secret societies, occult traditions, and esoteric philosophies, Saturn is understood as the ruler of the material world, the cosmic force governing physical and temporal realms, imposing structure, limitation, and order upon chaotic existence. This control encompasses not merely the flow of time, but the very structures of society, the constraints imposed by physical reality, and the boundaries defining human existence. Some contemporary conspiracy theories propose that modern, global elites are followers of Saturnian principles, deliberately employing Saturn-related symbolism, including the black cube and hexagonal patterns, in corporate logos, government buildings, architectural designs, and popular culture to assert psychological and spiritual control over human populations. These theories suggest that the widespread presence of Saturn's symbols represents evidence of a coordinated agenda designed to maintain humanity's bondage to material existence while preventing spiritual awakening and transcendence. As we conclude this comprehensive exploration of Saturn's cult and its enduring influence, it becomes clear that this ancient belief system has created a lasting legacy that continues to shape human consciousness in profound and often unrecognized ways. From the primordial myths of Kronos to the joyous celebrations of Saturnalia, from the mysterious hexagonal formation at Saturn's pole to the ubiquitous black cube appearing in religious and esoteric traditions worldwide, Saturn's symbols continue to exert powerful influence over our collective understanding of existence, time, and spiritual reality. Saturn serves as a constant reminder of existence's fundamental duality, the eternal balance between creation and destruction, life and death, order and chaos, limitation and transcendence. It challenges humanity to confront life's darker aspects honestly, to embrace time's passage with wisdom and acceptance, and to seek deeper truths that lie hidden beneath surface appearances and conventional understanding. The cult of Saturn represents far more than a historical curiosity or academic subject. It constitutes a living tradition that continues actively shaping our understanding of the universe and humanity's place within the cosmic order. Whether we choose to view Saturn as an ancient deity worthy of reverence, a powerful archetypal symbol of cosmic forces, or simply a fascinating astronomical enigma, its influence upon human consciousness remains undeniably profound and far-reaching. Modern scientific discoveries about Saturn, including its complex ring system, mysterious hexagonal storm, and unique atmospheric dynamics, continue to provide new material for both scientific investigation and mystical interpretation. The planet's remarkable features serve as bridges between empirical observation and symbolic meaning, offering opportunities for integration between scientific knowledge and spiritual wisdom. As humanity continues exploring the cosmos and expanding our understanding of celestial mechanics, Saturn will undoubtedly remain a powerful focal point for contemplation about the eternal cycles governing existence. The planet stands as a cosmic teacher, reminding us that time, change, and transformation are fundamental aspects of reality that must be understood, accepted, and ultimately transcended through wisdom and spiritual development. In our contemporary world, facing rapid technological advancement, environmental challenges, and social transformation, Saturn's ancient lessons about cycles, limitations, and the necessity of balance become increasingly relevant. The planet's symbolism encourages us to work within natural constraints while striving for transcendence, to accept temporal limitations while seeking eternal truths, and to find meaning within apparent chaos through understanding deeper patterns and cosmic order. The true significance of Saturn's cult lies not in its historical manifestations alone, but in its continued capacity to inspire humanity's quest for meaning, purpose, and understanding in an often bewildering universe. It represents our species' eternal journey toward wisdom, a journey that continues unabated in our modern era, reminding us that the most profound answers we seek are often hidden in unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by those courageous enough to look beyond surface appearances and venture into the mysterious depths of cosmic truth. As we stand at the threshold of new discoveries about our solar system and our place within the greater cosmos, Saturn's ancient wisdom calls us to remember that true knowledge comes not merely from external observation, but from the integration of scientific understanding with spiritual insight, creating a more complete and meaningful comprehension of existence itself.